Welcome back, everybody. My name is Grace, or Gibby, whatever you prefer, and today I'm here with another episode of the Yulgar Only series. And specifically, we're going to be taking on the Junior Squires quest from Fix-It. Now, this quest is where players unlock the Archmage Apprentice armor, which is a water spellcaster lean armor, and it's pretty favored by a lot of mage players. It's not incredibly broken or game-breaking or anything, but it's a very strong item defensively, and so I thought I'd run this quest to just show players how easy it is to beat the quest and go through the boss's mechanics. Now I'm going to be running a pretty simple strategy to just kill the monsters in the quest. I'm going to be using this melee weapon, which is Vitae Thirster, and it's slightly underleveled, but it element seeks. It's level 100, but I'm just using it to experiment with. You can use any set of weapons you want. The only important thing is that you have armors and shields to defend against all the elements. Now there are two bosses in this quest. There's an Ice Yeti, and there's a Mystic Iron Golem. The Ice Yeti is quite simple. It simply attacks with ice, and if I remember correctly, it has a small chance to daze the player, but you don't really need to worry about that. It doesn't end up doing anything throughout the course of the fight. You just have a very small chance of not acting. It also has very low resistances, so harm can be quite useful for this quest. The next quest, or the next boss, is the Mystic Iron Golem. Now, it has an SP bar and an MP bar, but it only uses its MP bar to do special attacks. The way that it works is it spends its first turn trying to inflict Mind Lock on you, which essentially zeroes out your mana bar until the status goes away. Now, if it fails to inflict Mind Lock, it'll do its special attack again, and then it'll be out of mana. If it inflicts the Mind Lock, it'll wait until you're not Mind Locked, and then it'll use the attack again. The only reason that this is important for non-mages is because its Mind Lock attack is energy, so it can do quite a lot of damage if you're in an earth armor and you're not prepared to tank an energy hit. So, just be on the lookout for that. Its first attack is going to be energy, and if the status fails, its second attack will also be energy. If the status succeeds, once the status runs out, its next attack will be energy. I'll explain it again when we get to the boss. That being said, I'm just going to run through these monsters. So enjoy the video. I'm going to put some lo-fi over it, and I'll see you all at the boss fight. Okay, so this is a quick extra voiceover because I forgot a couple things. This quest also has the Mana Crystal Defender, which is a really strong light shield for mages because it gives you extra barriers as a defensive bonus whenever you cast a spell. There's also the Call and Summon Iron Golem spell and the Iron Golem pet, which are token guests and pets, which are sources of Mind Lock, which is really rare, but it keeps monsters from using their mana. And there's also the Junior Archmage pet, which is a pet that has a negative BTH lean, and it takes mana to do plus 50% damage. So it's a really high damage ice pet. That's it. Now the rest of the video, we'll keep on going. Okay, so I forgot to turn on the audio for that first attack, but we switched into our energy armor and shield, and the damage was very manageable. Since the status didn't inflict, I'm going to stay one more turn because he still has mana, and I'm going to use the Hairmuff Misks to further reduce any damage. After that, I'm just going to attack him down with this weapon. If you're a mage, instead of this weapon, I recommend using Lore Master's Tome because it has a multi-hit harm spell. And if you're a warrior, and you're not limiting yourself to a very narrow amount of items like I am, then I recommend using the Horror-Show Void Sword or another harm weapon. Rangers, there are less harm weapons, but there are still a couple. So that's pretty much it. He just attacks with Earth for the rest of the fight, and he doesn't do anything too special. He's just like a normal Iron Golem after those first two attacks. You could also drain his mana if you really wanted to, but there's no real point, I don't think. You can just tank his attacks with an energy armor. So that's pretty much it. I'll put on some lo-fi for the end of the quest, And see you next time. Have a great day. Spread some peace and love. Bye-bye.